You're there, right? You can hear me? I guess you're on mute. Um, so everybody, my name is Vince. I'm with Listings to Leads, and we're talking about listings leads. And so you can see from the front end of our system, we have a lot of tools that are designed to market listings. We also have a lot of tools that are designed to capture listing leads. So if you have homes that you need to sell, or if you just want to get buyer leads and you want to market other people's listings, you got a lot of great tools to help you get buyer leads, to help you get referrals, and to help you get seller leads. So I'm going to log in to my account. Give me a second here. And Taylor, I do see a few people calling in or logging in, but we'll just sort of move through and give me a second.
Everybody hear that okay?
So everybody, I'm logging into the account, and if you log into your account, whether you're part of an, oh, this is great, this is the wrong account. Give me a second. When you log into your account, whether you're part of an office account or an agent account, you're always going to see a pop-up right here. And I want you to kind of be aware of it. Most of us sort of know to just jump right by it and ignore it. But there's a real estate agent from the Tampa area, Keller Williams, that's been using our tools, and I'm going to show you what he uses. But he's a 3-year realtor. He has not been in this space too long. Ever since we brought the system to their office, he found some tools that are just having great returns with them. So I am going to show you what he's doing, but there's a couple things in common that he does here, and then with this person down here, Shannon Pyatt. So these are 2 recorded webinars. One thing that Neil does is he has one of our tools and he puts it on Facebook. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm sorry, he doesn't put it on Facebook. He puts it on Craigslist. And that really kind of surprised me, because he's been doing that for over a year and generating tons of leads. And I know that folks at Keller Williams used to eat and breathe Craigslist, and they don't anymore. And that's why this guy is just really interesting. I'm going to see if I can mute somebody here. Cool, that's better. But down here, Shannon Pyatt is using our tools and putting it on Facebook. So we are going to jump into that. We are going to talk about that. You've probably heard about Facebook advertising, but in our world, our clients are generating hundreds of leads a month, both buyer and seller leads. And so we definitely want to focus on that. When you look at this button here, it says Facebook advertising. I'm going to click on it. It's there for you as a resource. There are a couple things here, so I'm actually going to point you to them so you know after this call where you would actually learn how to do this. And right here it says learn how to place an ad on Facebook in under 2 minutes. And what that means is it's just so simple to run an ad on Facebook, but you need to know how to do it correctly. So you can click that and learn that there. One of the tools that people like to use, and we have many, and I'm going to show them to you, is kind of a what is your home worth, right? And that's here, and this shows you how to create those landing pages. They're in the account. I'm going to show that to you. You can also use this kind of landing page and put it in front of a letter that you're going to mail to your farm market. And if you want to do that, you can put that here. You can also take this kind of landing page and put it on a postcard. And actually, I'm going to show you a postcard from another Keller Williams agent. And he's on his 3rd print of that postcard this year. He's getting tons of leads every time. So I'm going to show you some of those things of how those work, but I just want you to know that this is here as a resource right under the Facebook advertising page. Before we jump into it, I'm also going to click on this button here. You're all welcome to join. And Taylor, after the call, I'm going to send you an email that kind of says, it's an overall, it's like, here's a general email, or here's a tutorial on the overall system. Here's a tutorial on how to run Facebook ads the right way. And then here's a link to this mastermind group. So let's look at this mastermind group, and I want to point out to you, our clients join this, and you should join this whether you're a client or not, because a lot of our clients share the kinds of ads that are working for them, and they're just sharing it with the rest of our team. Now, running ads is great, but let's see here. Come on. Great. Sorry. Uh, Running ads is fine on Facebook if you've done it before, but running them and having them actually generate a lot of leads, there's a little bit of skill there. Like there's a little bit of technique there. And you need to know how to do that. And one of the simplest things to know is like, how am I going to make that look right? What's my wording? What's my language going to be right? And I'll tell you right here, this is like a very powerful ad here. Now I'm just showing you one. It's by Shannon Pyatt. As I mentioned, he is on the call with us earlier. This guy generates a lot of leads. These people that I keep pointing you to and mentioning, they're generating 300 to 500 leads every month. Their money is being spent only on Facebook today, as well as with listings to leads, because they need the tools to convert that. But this is here, and it's inside the mastermind group, and I recommend you all sort of breeze through this at least 30 minutes a week, because we push new tools and specifically new landing pages in our platform almost every 2 weeks. And I don't know many other companies that do that today, but that is just a reality of listings to leads. And it's partly due to this mastermind group, because so many people say, hey, we're doing this, or can we try, if this landing page did this, this would be awesome. And so we create it. If you're on this mastermind group, you will see that people give us ideas and we flip them around in less than a week. But on average, about every 2 weeks, we've got a new tool in here. So I want to show you one more thing, and then we'll kind of jump into the tools. This is in the photo section of our mastermind group. And one of our clients, Ryan Smith, also from Keller Williams, shared with us a postcard that is just awesome. And it's designed to get more, to announce that he's he's got homes for sale, but it's also designed to get more listing leads. So this is available for you. You can copy it if you go inside the mastermind group. This is the two sides of one postcard, right? One says just listed. He also runs them as just page. And you can see here, and when I wrote this, it was June. He had mailed this postcard to 500 homes and got 9 home values. I know he's getting listings out of this. He just did a reprint of 2,500 postcards because it's been so effective for him. So this is just kind of one of the ways to get seller lead capture in front of the space, right? In front of your target market. So before we get into that deeper look of Facebook, I do want to jump into the listings page of this section. For those of you that have listings. So you may not know this, we've been around for 6 years. We used to be one of the approved vendors until they wiped everybody out at Keller Williams at the beginning of this year. And so now, and the reason we were brought in is because we had one of the #1 tools for Craigslist ad posting, right? We could, with one click, we could put a full sort of web page on Craigslist with multiple hyperlinks on the ad that people could click on and land on your websites. And people at Keller Williams just absolutely love that, because you guys were getting trained on how to post a bunch of ads to Craigslist. You knew Craigslist was important. But at that time, you can click on a hyperlink and get right from Craigslist to your website. That was great stuff. So when you look at our tools now, we took what we learned on Craigslist and we applied it to everything. So I want to kind of go through what we have here. We have single property websites automatically generated. We have virtual tours automatically generated. We auto upload a virtual tour to YouTube. We have a series of e-flyers and a series of Facebook ads automatically generated and sent to you with instructions on what to do. We have a landing page. We set up a blog for your office, and we post every one of your listings courtesy you with backlinks pointing to your own agent websites. And then we give you the way to get to Craigslist, okay? So let's drive through and kind of look at what we're talking about. This is a single property website. And the reason why I think why our clients love us is there are a lot of clients like ours, right, that do marketing tools. Circle Pix, Real Virtual Tour 360, all kinds of virtual tour companies, all kinds of marketing companies. And they all do everything kind of similarly, right? They automatically generate it, they send it to you, you do something with it. And if you do something with it, that's awesome. But all those ads really ever do is they say, here's the home, here's the schools, here's the price, and call me or email me
Great.
if you want to talk about this.
All right. So thanks everybody for joining us today. It's Vince
But in
with
our
Listings
world,
to
we have
Leads,
what we call
this is
lead generation links.
a training
And
call
we
for the
know
group
we can
that got
automatically
objections.
assign these. If this
I
home
know
is in Maple
that
Grove,
Aaron and Taylor have been talking about us, and a
we
lot of
know
people
that if
have.
somebody looks at this home, and you know this when
Great.
when people look at
All
your
right.
home.
So thanks everybody for joining us today. It's Vince.
Sorry guys, I got a video down
This
here.
is
Hold
a
on.
training call for the group that got objections.
There must be
I
a
know
video down there. I got
Aaron and Taylor have been talking about us, and a lot of people.
I got to get that off of there. Huh. Interesting. Sorry about that, guys. So anyway, when people look at our tools, when they look at our single property websites, when they look at our virtual tours, when they look at our e-flyers, and when they look at our Facebook ads, they click on them in all of those platforms because they have some interest in property. But when they look at this home, the majority of people, of all the people that will click, will not want this particular home. It may be the kitchen, it may be the color, it may be the style, but you know that's just what it is on the internet. So in our world, we automatically connect links on the side and say, well, if it's in Maple Grove, let's have Maple Grove homes for sale. Let's have, if the price point in Maple Grove is 500, under 500, they fly off the shelves, let's have that be an option. And of course, let's give them an option to search all homes for sale and to find out what their home is worth. So when somebody clicks a link like Maple Grove homes for sale, it takes them off of our tool and it pushes them to your website, right? And in your websites, this is a market leader site, and you call it eEdge, and it's a great site to push people to, because when people click 2 or 3 times on this site, they get asked to register and you get a lead, right? I know you're moving to Playster. It's the same thing. We just reconnect to Playster. A lot of those links are auto-generated, and ideally you can capture leads on Playster. For Market Leader, for as long as Keller Williams agents have been working with it, we have been a top source of traffic for Keller Williams agents because people click links like this, right? You probably know this, but a Market Leader site, an eEdge site, does not have SEO. It does not really rank on the internet, right? So how are people going to find your website? Playster has more SEO, and that's going to be nice, but you're going to be still competing with the hundreds of agents in your office and the thousands of agents in your area, and so you still got a heavy lift on SEO. So our tools, if you're using them, if you follow our instructions, get them out there. You just, people have the opportunity 20 to 30% of the time, they click these side links. So on a single property website, number one thing is to share it to your Facebook wall. Number 2 is Pinterest. There are buttons down here underneath my picture that you can share to these other Twitters and Googles and LinkedIn. There is not a lot of lead generation on any of those sites except for Facebook, number 1, and Pinterest, number 2. And we do have on our mastermind group some ways to get to Instagram. We are seeing Instagram be pretty interesting. So this is a single property website. Make sure you got the right side links on it. Get it to your social media, right? Now, over here, if we keep looking at the listings, there is a virtual tour. Just copy the link. We actually email you the link automatically. Put it in KWLS. They will syndicate it to over 300 websites. The virtual tour has all those hyperlinks driving to your website, right? So the more people see it, the more people click it, the more people land on your website. That's awesome. The next thing, we auto upload to YouTube for you. You don't have to touch it. It just gets in the system. We push it there. Then we have this e-flyer and Facebook campaign, and these are parallel campaigns, and these are free. This kind of free marketing, okay? And so it's not pay-per-click, which we are going to jump into in a minute, but you can see when you talk about e-flyers, and I know you've got like Michael something at Keller Williams that's super luxury looking, and that's great. But again, just like the Circle Pick story and just like RealBird, these tools are designed to market and not to generate leads. So when we talk about e-flyers, we want to generate leads. We also want to generate referrals because our clients love generating leads, but man, they love referrals. And this system is designed to do both. So the first thing, obviously, there's something called a seller engagement email. You can click it to view it. It will automatically be sent to you. On the top is your banner. That's my banner there on the top. And then there's a few pictures of the home. And it says, these are all the things I'm doing to market your home. I've got it online, I got it mobile, I got email, etc. I've got it on Facebook. all these things. Here are all the tools that I'm sending out. And then here I've got it on WordPress, I've got it on Craigslist, and here's my picture and here's my logo. This is designed to get to your client, really to impress your client in the fact that you're going to do all this marketing. And what's going to happen is that a new marketing piece goes to them in an email format and in a Facebook format for them to share in their world, right? And that's why we get referrals. So I'm going to click on a single property website e-flyer, and this is similar to all e-flyers. The one thing to mention, there are two important things about our e-flyers. You're going to see here on the top, it says, "Dear friends, we've hired Vincent Meza at L2L Lafayette Realty to sell our home. And to increase marketing exposure, please forward this to as many people as you can," is basically the point. So this is a pre-written message from your listing clients to their friends talking about you as their agent. And please forward this on, right? And then obviously the flyer has all kinds of information about the home. It also has links that are designed to capture leads that work in any email program, right? Drive people right to your website, find out what their home is worth. So e-flyers in our world are very useful for building up referrals and building up buyer leads, and in some cases seller leads. So we send these tools out to you automatically. Just forward them on, call your client real fast, and that's kind of it. So there's also a tool here, and over here it says just sold. I don't know if you can see it, how big the screen is. We have homes active, active contingent, just sold, coming soon. So you can market homes in many different ways, right? And I'm going to show you this one thing here. I'm going to wrap it up, and then you can ask questions, and then we'll jump into that deeper Facebook stuff. So make sure you have a picture on here. So let me show you what the Facebook stuff is. So that whole thing about using our e-flyers and using our Facebook stuff is, of course, to get buyer leads, right? And of course, to get referrals. But we also want to get seller leads. And so when you see, when it goes all the way to just sold, imagine that you've actually used tools like this. And you can see here that, that on the Facebook side, it's designed for your client, not you. It's designed for your client to take it and go to their Facebook wall, okay? And I'm going to go to Facebook, and I'm going to paste this in and show you what it looks like. This is what your client's meant to do, and you'll see why this can be so powerful for you, okay? So they go to their Facebook wall, and they paste in what that you sent them, right? And you sent it to them, and you called them, and you said, hey, I gave you an e-flyer, and I gave you a Facebook. Please put that, on your wall. So I'm going to post this real quick as soon as my computer starts working. It seems to be running a little bit slow. And we'll wait for this to happen, because there's basically a pre-written testimonial. And so if you can sort of like follow the process, it says here, our home is just sold. And it looks like my my internet's a little bit slow here, because there should be a big picture of the house here. And it's not, because, again, probably because I'm running a bunch of software here. But this is a pre-written testimonial from your client to all of their friends and family, everybody they associate with on Facebook. And it basically, it says, this agent's great, he sold our home, and here's his phone number and email if you want to talk to him, right? So that's kind of the concept there, right? And we know that your clients are on Facebook. You know they're on Facebook. Not all of them, but 71% of adults in the United States are on Facebook, okay? And we want to make sure that you are leveraging that, because I don't know where you're going to get your name as a realtor in front of 71% of your target markets. But we know at Listings to Leads, we do it pretty well, and our clients are super excited about it. So I'm going to kind of like take a breath here and open it up for questions on this part. If you don't have any questions, that's okay. We are going to jump into the deeper kind of seller lead generation, pay-per-click stuff on Facebook. But if there are any questions right now, I'm happy to take them. Okay. So there's kind of there's a big strategy, and this piece you got to kind of listen to, because there are, I'm going to just jump into the landing page section. Landing pages are what a lot of agents are hearing about and talking about, and they are applying on Facebook, right? And as I mentioned, you can also use them in combination with postcards or sending letters to your farm market, all that, right? But the number one thing I think people are thinking about is, I want to get in front of 71% of the Americans, so I want to use landing pages on Facebook. It's better than putting a YouTube video on Facebook, which I see realtors doing all the time. It's better than driving them to Zillow, where the leads get sent off to 3 or 4 different agents. Get a landing page which has one function. So when you come to the landing page section, you've got over here, you can hover over these dark blue buttons and see all the kinds of landing pages that we have. And and that's an important part, because when you are marketing as a business, you cannot just market one thing in any platform, right? Even if it's newsprint, right? Even if it's a newspaper, you can't do the same thing over and over, because you're going to get a diminishing return on that. Whereas in our system, we've got all kinds of tools. We have tools for FSBOs, for expireds, for growing families, for getting your property valuation, for maybe it's time to downsize, so we've got empty nester. We got a ton of tools that all come together, right? This is all one platform. So let's kind of look at one just to sort of feel it out and see, what is this about? Just so you know, and maybe some of you do know, these landing pages are unlimited in our system, right? That means that if you've got 4 or 5 or 10 target markets where you're trying to build a business, you can have landing pages of all of those shapes and sizes, customized to every little town and development and golf course property or whatever. It all comes together. We're not upcharging it. In contrast, Market Leader would charge you $200 a month for one page just like this, right? They would slap it, they would snap it onto your e-edge site, and you would hope that people would get there, even though you don't have SEO. So this is how this page works. You may have seen it, but I'm just going to go through it real quickly for you. You type in an address, and you click go, right? And it actually pulls up, I think, a Google map and shows you the home, right? And then it says, please verify the information that you have, right? And you can say, yeah, it's a 3.2, 1950, excellent condition. Yeah, that's right, that's right. And over here, and again, forgive me because my computer is running a little bit slow, it actually shows you where the home is, right? And then at this point, you confirm it. You click this red button on the left, and you confirm it. Let's give it a second here. It says, great, we have your valuation, and please fill this out. So I'm going to fill this out real quick. Good, good. Why are you what are you interested in? Choose an option here. I need to sell so I can buy a home. Great. Click for report. And this is what the consumer sees, okay? So if you put this landing page on a postcard, on a market letter to your farm market, come on, what are we doing here? If you put it on Facebook and you say, I want everybody in Lafayette, or I want everybody in your town to see this, then they're going to see that front picture, they're going to fill out their address, and they're going to be given this process. And they get some sort of valuation. So the thing for you to do is, when you get that, when they see this, you have their contact information, right? And that's what happens. That's just how it is. At this point, when they get this number, you get emailed this number, so you know the valuation that they have. And over here, I don't know if you can see it, I've actually got I've got the same number in my email as a consumer, okay? So they get all your contact information, you get the same numbers that the consumer's looking at, and you can contact them, say, hey, do you feel, is that a good number? Was that high? Is that low? Would you like to talk about it? And that's the beginning of getting that conversation started, okay? So that's what a landing page can do. As I mentioned, there are multiple landing pages inside this system. So what I want to talk about, I am going to show you in just a minute here how to actually run an ad, okay? But I want to make sure, if you're going to work with us, we always want our clients to get great results from this, right? And there are a lot of people that sign up every day on our system, and they either hear what we're saying or they don't. So let me give you the easy way that people, what they learn how to do, and then they don't get fantastic results, right? There on the top of this web page, you can't see it, is a URL, and it says searchallproperties.com/property valuation plus, and then my username. And it's just a unique kind of, web address. That's what you take, and you go to Facebook, and you create an ad, and you do that. And I'll tell you, I don't know how many people, I'd say 10 to 20 people sign up every day at Listings to Leads, just to have that ability to do that. And that's great, right? And if they listen to our tutorials and they go through it properly, they can get some good. But what I want to share with you is how some of our clients get fantastic results. And you need to understand why it is. Because it is not just simply copying and pasting a link and slapping it on Facebook. There's actually a little more thought on this, okay? So where I am right now is I am on the listings page. And what you have to understand about Facebook, if you want Facebook to really take off for you, is you want to build the identity for you as a realtor on Facebook, and then on top of that, give the ability for people to find out their home value, right? For people to get their home value, all you got to do is copy the link to this page and put it out there and target it, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And that can work. You can get really great results. But when you want to consistently get more and more leads with better quality, you actually need to think a little bit about, how do I build my brand there? Since 71% of adults are there, how do I do that? So every one of your listings, and you can see here I've got a bunch of listings. Some of you may not have listings. Some of you may have them, and some of you may not. So when I mentioned the Shannon Pyatt call, which is on the page when you jump on, what he does is he runs every listing for $1 a day on Facebook for 30 days, okay? And that's because he has like 20 listings. So people are seeing his ads all the time, okay? Now, if you don't have that many listings, you can borrow listings. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure the TL in your office there would appreciate that. Everybody wants more buyers to sell homes faster. And when you start marketing this way, what it does is it shows people on Facebook that, hey, you are associated to Realty. They don't know it's exactly your listing or not. They just see the little ad there that it's sponsored by you, and that here's a home that's open house, here's a home that's just listed, and here's a home that's just sold. So as a reminder, you can do things right here. AC is active contingent, coming soon, just sold, active. And so there are two key tools that we want you to be thinking of. I'm going to do this one here that's coming soon. To do coming soon, you physically need to put a picture of a home in and do it manually. But I'm going to show you anyway. I'm going to click on this column to the right of Facebook that says listing landing page. So this is a landing page for one home, and let's just talk a little bit about the Renact. A landing page is a web page that just really has one function: get the contact information. This is a landing page on a home that's coming soon in Naples. I could have changed the status to make this open house, under contract, or just sold. And you as an agent can also change that and market the same house throughout the process. If it's your listing, by all means do that. If it's not your listing, do it as much as you can, right? Because you're showing the market, hey, I am associated to homes that are coming and sold, and so if you want more information, here I am, right? And so there is a web address at the top of this page. You copy, you paste it, and you put it on there. So I will show you that in a second. That's coming soon. And then I mentioned earlier, we do have home, you can market things as there's a listing landing page over here to the right of the Facebook. This is just sold. And that's really what I want you to understand is you need to really get people to know that you are a realtor. And a lot of agents will just log in, join us on Listings to Leads, and run an ad for a few bucks a day on the weekends and get some listing leads. And that's awesome because they got more listing leads than they've ever got in their life, and that's fantastic. But if you really want to kill it, if you really want to be generating hundreds of leads, you are going to need a budget on Facebook. and you are going to need a lot of different tools, not just one, to make that happen. So one of the key tools is the listing landing page. Another key tool is the single property website. We looked at it earlier when we came to this page. I'll just click on one again. And as you can see, it's active contingent. As you can see on the left, I got multiple hyperlinks driving people off of the ad to my website. So, and then of course they can get a sales price and they can schedule information or schedule a request info. All that's there. So this single property website is just obviously multiple ways to capture leads. So these are the tools that our clients typically think of when they're brand building with a focus on capturing leads. While they've done that, and let me explain to you, and I'm going to give you like the smallest way of approaching Facebook, meaning smallest, meaning you have no listings and you want to just get some business. You want to build your business, right? And so what do? Because we have a lot of folks joining us, right, that are in that spot. They don't have listings, they just sold them, whatever. How are they going to build their business? Borrow 1 or 2 listings, get them inside your account, and run ads like a single property website and a listing landing page for $1 a day for 3 to 4 days at a time, right? And then change the ad. Hopefully you're doing it as just listed, and then you change it to open house. Change the picture. Sometimes make it a photo of a kitchen. Sometimes it's the living room. Sometimes it's the backyard. You got to make your ads different. Otherwise, your ads don't stand out. Okay? If it's the same ad over and over, people will glaze over them just like we glaze over all the ads that we see on TV. Okay? So you got to just switch it up. Switch up the pictures, switch up the language, and switch up the tools. Okay? So we give you a lot of tools here. You can do that. But bare minimum, you should have one ad running, and even if you know nothing about generating leads, you should have one ad running for $1 a day on Facebook of anything, and you should boost, right? It should be targeting your target market, because at the bare minimum after this call, you want thousands of people to actually know you are a realtor, okay? And that's what you do. And I'm going to show you how to run that ad in a second, but if you're doing it this way with 1 or 2 or 3 listings, a lot of people, thousands and thousands of people are going to see that. Some of them will click and they will be, that you'll get some leads out of that. But the bare minimum is, I don't know how thousands and thousands of people are finding out that you're a realtor on a monthly basis for $30 a month. I just don't think that's actually happening. So if you follow that and you run some ads and you get your brand identity up there on Facebook, then you go to the landing page section and you go to Property Valuation Plus. If something has the word plus in it, it means there is a built-in Zillow valuation. If it doesn't, it means that the customer just gets a auto response, a thank you, and we will be in touch with you. So it's your choice. You can use whatever you want, right? You don't need to do that with a Zillow valuation. I think we're also going to be putting Zip Realty in here in the next week. But let's just go over to my Property Valuation Plus, and here, as I said, these are all my pages. You would have unlimited pages. And I think if we click here, it's going to open up this page, right? Which is kind of, we were looking here earlier. So let me talk a little bit about this page. You know how it works. When you create it, let me show you how you create this page, okay? You go to the landing page dashboard up here. You can also get to that dashboard by clicking the landing page tab. And Taylor, what city, what's your main town? What's your main city where everybody's building their business?
You can just do Burnsville.
Burnsville, B-U-R-N?
Yep.
Okay. You see how I typed in Burnsville with a capital B and I spelt it correctly? That's all you got to do. And then you click Save. And when you do this in your account and you wait a few seconds, you're going to see a little green message on the top of this page here. And let's see, it says your Listings to Lead landing page series has been created. What that means is there is now a Burnsville landing page under every one of these buttons. Apartments for rent, FSBOs, expireds, custom free reports, empty nesters, all this, okay? And I'm going to click on the Property Valuation Plus because I want you to understand something about this. When you see the landing page at the bottom of here, It's the Burnsville page, right? This is the default look of this page. It's like this generic suburban background. Most of the time, this is not great. I don't know what Burnsville looks like, but if this doesn't look like your area, it doesn't work as well. And when you start running ads and you start putting a couple bucks in those ads and you're expecting some results, the first thing that you got to think about is this thing targeted to my target market, or is this just a generic street anywhere in the United States? In contrast, I live in a little town called Lafayette, and this is the Lafayette Reservoir. And there's like a 2.5 mile walk here. Everybody walks their dogs and their kids and just jogs and all that nonsense, right? Around this all the time, every weekend. So everybody in Lafayette knows this, and if they see it, they're going to know, like, oh, this person knows my area. I've got clients all over the country. There's one office that their best ad is actually a picture of the diner that's been downtown in Summit, New Jersey, like, forever. And it's one of those converted railroad cars that looks like a diner. It's actually Summit Diner, right on the sidewalk. He took a picture. That is the background picture on this page, and it says, what is your Summit home worth? And he runs all kinds of ads. So that is the number one thing that people click on because it means something to them in living in that area, okay? This means something to the Lafayette folks. Equally, a downtown picture, a picture of like some of our key shopping areas would be huge. Maybe there's a nice bridge where everybody knows in your area. I don't know what it is, but you figure out what it is. So you get it customized like this. Where we clicked on the page to see it is also a page. Let's just click it here to look at it real quick. Because if you do sign up and you do this and you want to do this, the number one thing is to go right to this section and change the landing page, the landing page image. That's it. 1900 pixels wide. It's got to be big because it's going to cover a whole monitor. All this stuff down here, don't bother. Don't even bother with it. If you want to just get listing leads off of Facebook, make sure you change that, and that would be the number one thing. Then you go over here and you copy this link, right? And I'm going to copy it again, and I'm going to go over to the ad manager. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, that's nice. Give me a second, everybody. It's acting really odd. I left this alone for a while, so give me a second. I'm trying to get to a place where I can actually see. This should have moved pretty quickly. Trying to get to that. So what you should know if you've never done this before, there's a triangle pointing downwards in the navigation bar on the top right of Facebook. When you click that, there's a menu that says Create Ads. And click that, and that brings you to the area where you create ads. And I want to point this out because some of you have heard of how to boost ads. And boosting ads is not nearly as powerful as what creating an ad like this can do. So we're going to follow through this, but we're going to run it. I'm going to kind of talk from two sides of my head here, right? One, on how you generate seller leads, and two, how you actually build that brand. And sometimes they're the exact same thing, but those ads, you manage it a little bit differently. So let's see here. Hopefully this will get to where we need to go. Yeah. So it gives you, what is your objective? Your objective is to send people to your website, okay? So once you get there, you just click on link, and it may look slightly different wherever you are, right? Let's see here, use this, I'm gonna click it again, yeah. So when you click it, it gives you, sorry. Sorry guys, I don't know why this is happening. I'm going to go back. This will really be a bummer if we can't do this together. I do have a tutorial on exactly what I'm about to show you, and if this doesn't start acting up, I'm going to just sort of walk you through. And I will walk you through since we're waiting anyway. Here's why Facebook is so powerful. what we're trying to do is run an ad where we're sending people to your website, and the website is our seller landing page, right? That's what it's about. We're trying to get them not to your real estate agent, to a landing page that will actually capture leads. And we do that by clicking where I was driving you to send people to my website. And then at that point, it helps you build, it kind of leads you step by step on what do you want to do. You want to target the audience. So hopefully we're going to get there. I don't know if we are going to get there, but this is what you're going to be looking at. It's going to give you two key options. One is, what is your geographic area? And for you, you're going to want to say Burnsville, okay? And when you type in Burnsville, it says, great, Burnsville plus 25 miles. And you can change it, and hopefully I can show you that. I do have a tutorial, you will be able to see this. But you type in the word Burnsville, and then it says, it shows you a little map, and it says this is how far out. You don't want to go out 25 miles unless you run 25 miles. In some areas, I usually recommend, if you're running an ad for like open house or just listed or just sold. What is the problem here? Okay, now if this doesn't happen here, then we're just going to have to like forget about it. You're basically, when you're running an ad that says just listed, open house, or just sold, or anything like that, you want to say Burnsville plus 10 miles so that a lot of people can see that you're a realtor. But when you're running an ad like this one that we're running, which is property valuation, mine is in Lafayette. You can see this is in Lafayette. 10 miles out of Lafayette is Danville and Alamo and Concord. So I don't want people to see this Lafayette homeworth in those towns. So when you're running the ad, and I apologize, I don't know why it's spinning around here, you can actually say no radius. They have to live in Lafayette to see this. The other thing that you can do on Facebook is you can actually say, I want minimum age of 25 or 21 or whatever your age is. And then you can also say, you can also target homeowners. I don't really recommend it. Some of our clients target homeowners. It's called the behavior area. Some of them don't. And I don't know where the data comes for Facebook that they know that somebody owns a home or not. I guess it's not impossible to get. But I just want, to me, it just doesn't matter. I know some clients use it and some don't. So here's the thing, when you're running that ad, the number one thing is you've targeted these people. And here's what a lot of agents don't know. If you have a business page on Facebook and you have 100 or 200 or 20 people or 15, you think that that's as far as your ad goes. That's not what this is about. What this is saying is if there are 10,000 people living in Burnsville, they're all going to see it. If there are 30,000 people within a 10-mile radius of Burnsville, they're all going to see this. Now, they may not all log in, right? And there will be a max of what that reach is based on your budget. So let's talk about budget when running ads. When you're running a property valuation ad like this, I highly recommend that you do it for a 3-day period, specifically on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, okay? And you do it at a max of $20 a day. A lot of our clients just do it the simple way. They're brand new, they set up this page, they go there, they knock it out, and they get somewhere from 20 to 50 to 100 leads in 3 days. And that's awesome, right? Not everybody does it because they don't know how to like do it right. I am going to send you the tutorial on that so you can see it. Let's see if we actually got there.
I have a question for you. How do you avoid getting drunk on leads? Because quite frankly,
I'm going to see if I can click around.
That many leads from somebody that does a lot with leads.
It is pay per click. So if you put in $20 a day, disabled. Yeah, pause that.
I have a question for you. How do you avoid getting drunk on leads? Because quite frankly, that many leads from somebody that does a lot with leads is to be hard to sort through.
Well, I think you'll hear, and I did point out those calls in the front that pop up. People throttle back their spend, right? I mean, you'll feel how many leads you're getting, and you got to also know that there is a partial lead and there is a full lead. A partial lead is where somebody puts in their address and clicks go, and then they don't give you the contact information when you ask for the contact information. That is a partial lead. We do have a new service that's just been added, and I think it's like 20 bucks a month, where it's actually a software program that will take the address that they give you and get the full detail. And I think it's coming in at like 80 to 90% of all leads are now coming with full contact information. So, but really the answer to your question, and this happens to a lot of our clients, is you stop advertising. When you have too many leads to deal with, you either slow down the budget or you just stop running ads. But you do want to know how to do it correctly, and all of our
Well, you
clients,
better
even
because of the
brand new
nature of
clients, get
internet leads.
overwhelmed when they start getting 100, 200
I would
leads.
say you
Because
gotta
now
follow
they realize I
people,
really
you
don't
gotta
have a
come on like
process
a
to
10
deal
days
with all
of
this.
gain or a 21 days of
And
gain.
then that's the next step.
If you have so many leads,
So
you're not going to be able to follow up with
that's
100.
really the short
in
answer
21 days
is
of gain
manager budget.
in the first place.
Right.
So why not just go from a $20 a day to a $5 a day? I mean, it just,
I would say.
I don't know if that makes sense to have all these leads that are barfed out, and you probably,
Definitely.
unless you have like a huge infrastructure with virtual assistants behind you to follow, you're just going to waste the money.
Just go from a $20 a day to a $5 a day, and it just, I don't know if that makes sense to have all these leads that are barfed out, and you probably, unless you have like a huge infrastructure with virtual assistants behind you,
Yeah.
you're just kind of wasting money.
Well, here's the thing. When I say $20 a day for 3 days, and I tell you that people get from 20 to 50 to 100 leads, that number changes based on where you are and what your market is like. So I don't know really the answer, but here's the thing, and you will see tutorials, and the Shannon Pyatt one is a great one that just confuses the heck out of agents. Shannon spends $1 a day on every ad. But because he spends $300, $400 a month on Facebook, he is getting preferential ad placement from Facebook. Facebook doesn't talk about this. I don't know how it happens, but all of our clients say, yeah, after a while, we start getting more clicks per dollar. And that's just because Facebook somehow sees it. So what I don't want you to do, which is what Shannon does, is do $1 a day. Because right now, if you're a brand new agent running an ad on Facebook, or just an agent that's been around for 10 years and this is your first ad on Facebook, you're going to be paying on a pay-per-click basis probably 50 to 75 cents a click. So if you put $1, you're going to get 1 to 2 clicks on the page. Doesn't mean 1 to 2 people will fill it out. It's just that's the maximum amount of people that can click it. Okay? So when I say 20 for 3 days, that's 60 bucks. Maybe not everybody hits it. Maybe you don't spend the full 60, but that's the max. But I don't know exactly, I don't know your towns, right? I don't know the density. I don't know where you're targeting. And I don't know if you're going to get 20 leads or if you're going to get 40 or 50 or 100, right? I just don't know. So this is a little bit of an art. It definitely is a bit of an art. There is the basics of copy here, paste here, and click this. But you're going to learn, what's actually working in your target market before I do, right? I don't know why that in the world this is not working, but it's definitely not working. So that's kind of that. So there are 2 kinds of ads to run. There are ads that are property valuation, and then there are ads that are, talking about homes. When you're running ads for homes, let's see if we can actually get here. You want to run that ad for $1 or $2 a day. All ads, we don't want to see ads running for 30 days at a time. Okay, it's just, we don't really recommend that. We recommend you run them for 3 or 4 days, you change the photos, you change the language so to get people to click, and then you do that. And you have at least 1 ad running every day of the month. For the agents that are running multiple ones, they get much higher returns. Then they choose when they want to run their property valuation ads. And those property valuation ads, maybe Taylor, you do it for 10 bucks a day, right? Maybe you do it for 20, but that's kind of what you got to figure out what works best for your business. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So what I don't want folks to do is to run an ad for $1 a day on property valuation, because that means you're going to get maximum 1 lead a day. And I guess that's good, but I don't think you're going to get that excited in that way. So that's really, and I'm sorry about Facebook. I don't know, it could be that I'm just running so much stuff, it's just not happening. But those tools, as a reminder, there are a lot of tools in the landing page area. The one thing we know is you want to be running different kinds of ads. You don't want to run the same thing on Facebook over and over, just like any other platform. We give you a lot of tools. You could have all of these landing pages for all of the target markets that you're trying to build your business. We also give you this listings, you know, all the tools to market your listings. And there's one other thing I forgot to show you. And you remember, yeah, I must be having an internet issue. I'm going to click right here on listing website widgets over here on the left hand side. Okay. And this gives us, and there's a lot of widgets snap into WordPress. And you may not know this, but your Playster sites that will probably be rolling out next year are WordPress. And these are little widgets that can say, hey, let's rotate my listings in there and all these cool things. But the one thing that is pretty exciting for a lot of people is this page right here. It's at the top. It's a hyperlink. And when you log in to the listings to leads, the top recorded webinar is from Neil Wolf. And it says Neil Wolf, Keller Williams agent, targeting 12 million in sales this year, strictly from our listing leads, okay? And, or from our leads. And I'm gonna show you what his page looks like right now. This is mine, this is how you get to it. Every one of you that has an account with us has this page. And this is Neil's. So I want you to look at it to understand what he's doing, and I'm gonna tell you what he does with this. Notice the lead generation links on the side. They are all driving to landing pages. Some of them are ours, some of them are his. And down here are a number of listings. Some of them are his, but many of them are borrowed. Some are rentals and some are for sale. So you can see by the lead generation links on the left that there are homes for rent, lease purchase options, all kinds of stuff. So it's a mixture of rental and buy, right, and buyers. And he puts this on Craigslist, but he does it in a unique way. He bought himself a lead, a link from GoDaddy that says Neil knows Naples, okay, because he's in Naples, Florida. And he tells GoDaddy, anybody that types that in, point them to this webpage. And he runs ads on Craigslist every day, and he's probably got like 10 to 20 ads every day. And they're really simple ads. Half of them have no photograph at all, right? And it's always just like really generic looking ads. And the point of the ad is that it actually has a link in it, a hyperlink. You can't click on it anymore, but because he made it a simple link, not a complicated one, Neil knows Naples, it allows people to be looking on Craigslist and go, oh, I see a bunch of his ads and they all say Neil knows Naples. I can just go right to the website and type in Neil knows Naples. And when people click on Neil knows Naples, they get driven right to this page. Okay? Neil is posting it in the apartment and housing section for rent. And he's actually, and as I said, you can see his call when you log into listings to leads. He actually has a totally different strategy. A lot of realtors may not like. He certainly is, out to get referrals and get more listings, but he also really has a serious concept for renters. Whereas he's got a really nice lease purchase option that he can kind of roll them into. So he's upselling people into buys, right? From rentals to buys. He also, if he can't do that, and I'm actually live in Craigslist right now in the Naples area, and I'm going to type in Wolf, and I'm going to show you what his ads look like. We can look real quick. If you can't actually, get somebody into a buy, he'll place the renter, and then he'll start contacting. And notice these are all of his ads. So he's got 4 today, right? Wilshire Lakes condo. Let's look at his ad and see what he's doing with it. So this one here, you see how boring and generic this is? It just says, hey, condo available ASAP, blah, 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 whatever. Here is what's going on. This link right here, he either has it as www.neilknowsnaples, or he just puts neilknowsnaples.com. Either way, he is generating easily 500 leads every month, and he does have a machine. He's actually staffed up because of us. So yeah, you're going to have, if you really get into lead generation, you are going to have to figure out how to deal with those leads. I think that's a decent problem to have. But that's what Neil is doing. He's running ads the way I just showed you on Facebook, and he is running these ads on Craigslist. And I'm telling you, they look so hokey, I wouldn't think of anything. I wouldn't think this would be happening. But we've been working with that office for well over a year now, and he has been killing it as soon as he figured out what tools are working best for him. So again, this is just another one of his ads. Notice how generic it is. There's basically, it's not that compelling. But people click on it, they look, and they start driving over to Neil Knows Naples, and they are getting, and he's got all kinds of lead capture right here, right? Lease purchase option, right? This is, as I pointed out to you, we've got a landing page section. He customized one of our landing pages. This is what he had.
Step out real
And
quick.
he's basically generating a lot of leads. And as I
guess
said,
the biggest
it's only
question that
Craigslist
he
and it's
mentioned
only
to
Facebook.
me
He's
when,
not spending
just before
money
he
in
took off
any
was,
other
is there
area.
something available for the
Yes.
market center to purchase for all of our agents?
So Taylor,
Is it
do you have
per
any other
agent
questions for him?
deal, or what's the different price?
Taylor had step out real quick at 3 o'clock. So I guess the biggest question that he mentioned to me when just before he took off was, so is this something available for the market center to purchase for all of our agents? Is it a per
Yeah.
agent deal,
Yeah.
or what?
So there is a agent where your agents can sign up today, and probably some of your agents are on our system today. And it's minimum $30 a month. And then it goes up, 30, 50, 75, and 110. But if you have
Yeah, they were right
a
now
lot
we're
of the
at right
market
around
centers, it just depends
agents
on the
in
size
this
of your
one
office.
There's
That
three
price
other
quickly
offices
gets down
that
to like $3 a month. per
OP
agent.
works
So we just
with,
I got to know
depending
kind
on
of
who's doing
how many
what.
agents, how many listings, how many offices.
Can't speak. So about how large of maps, I mean, where do you see that tipping point of where it makes sense as far as how large of an office?
OP works with, depending on who's doing what.
Right.
Can't speak. So about how large of maps, I mean, where do you see that tipping point of where it makes sense as far as how large of an office?
Well, if you're like, if just for your office there are 120 agents, I can give you that number. It's $660 a month, and you can, for all of the tools that I just showed you, that's like an awesome. And there's just, if you go put those things together with other companies, it's impossible for that kind of price. And I think that's a great, that's really what it is. We'll have a small setup fee.
So what's that? You said
It takes us,
setup
a
fee,
little
is
bit
that
of time to get
barrier,
everything
that-
together.
that is on
We
top
do
of it?
2 trainings, one like this one on the overall system, and then another one on Facebook only. And that's it. You just get people up and running as quickly as possible.
So what's that, you said small setup fee, is that barrier, or is that?
I think for you, because you're Keller Williams, that means we're going to get your listings from KWS via List Hub. So we're going to keep the setup on the low side. It'll be $400 one-time setup.
Availability and everything for each agent.
And the 660 will cover up to 200 agents in that one office. But it sounds like you got 120, so that's that's about $6 an agent, right? I think if you
All of the different tools and availability and everything?
Say, Vince,
all
is
of
there
those
a,
tools
we,
that
were
I
wondering,
showed
we
you.
had a couple of agents that wanted to be here, unfortunately, just with things going on,
Yeah.
they couldn't be here. Is there a link that they can reach out to you guys at, that you can send Taylor, that he can post out, a recording of the presentation you just gave us, that we can send out, that way the
Hey
next
Vince, is there,
agents
we were
can
wondering, we had a
follow
couple
up
of
if they're
agents that
interested, or at the
wanted
next
to be here,
ALC meeting, we can
unfortunately,
talk about
what's
it.
going on, they couldn't be here. Is there a link that they can reach out to you guys at, that you can send Taylor, that he can post out, or a recording of the presentation you just gave us, that we can send out, that way the next agents can follow up if they're interested? interested, or at the next AL2 meeting, we can
Sure.
talk about options.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll get this recording up online today, and I'll send a message to Taylor with this recording in it. And I will also send, I'll send you, I mentioned that I have a tutorial on the overall program, and I have a tutorial on how to actually run Facebook
And
ads.
then one other
so that
quick
you can see
question,
that specifically.
our market centers
And then there's
continuing
also
to
a
grow
link in
pretty
the same
rapidly.
email
When you get to
to our
that, say,
mastermind.
200
Okay? I encourage all of your
what's
agents
the
to
next
join
step
us
there?
because it's a really powerful place. We only, our clients are talking about lead gen all the time.
Okay. Is it about
One other quick
$200
question,
per hot center?
market centers is continuing to grow pretty rapidly. When you get to that, say, 201 agents,
Okay.
so what's the next step there?
860 for up to 100 more agents.
Over and signed up, would we
Is it about-
be able
is
to
it
just
about
over, or is it a
per hot center?
month to month?
Yeah, it kind
Or
of
is there
goes
a
up in that,
contract that you have to
yeah,
sign
that kind of range.
Or what, as an individual? If you signed up individually now, and over and signed up, would we be able to just over, or is it a?
Yeah, so that answers part of it. The next question would be, if an agent were to sign up now,
So at the end,
and
well,
then
first of
market
all,
center
it's
that
month
they're
to
in
month
signs
for
up
both
at a later
agents
date,
and offices.
how does that affect things? I mean, they better
Is that your
price
question? I couldn't quite exactly hear it.
Yeah, so that answers part of it. The next question would be, if an agent were to sign up now, and then the market center that they're in signs up at a later date, how does that affect
Oh,
things? I mean, they
so-
better price at the market center, or?
I get it. So if you signed up as an agent today, well, first of all, you'd have 14 free days.
Gotcha.
Then you'd
Okay.
start getting automatically charged.
Perfect.
But then let's say
Anything-
like in 2 months, you sign up the office.
I think
We
that's
would
all we
just
got.
move
Vin.
your
Thank you very
account,
much for
your
taking
agent
the time.
account into the office account so that you don't lose any work, but we would cancel the
You too.
payment. We would cancel the charge on it.